Hello YouTubers, this is going to be from the recent show by Jack Van Impe and Roxella about the coming one world government. But however, the important thing to keep in mind is we can escape all these things if we put all of our heart into Jesus Christ and the things that are up to come upon the whole world. But I just want to call the trumpet and warn people that it is extremely close. I feel it all throughout my soul. So enjoy this video here. This is going to be Dr. Jack and Roxella Van Impe here. Here's Roxella and Jack Van Impe. I hope you folks enjoy. This is a recent video about the big bankers and everything going on in the world.
Hello and welcome to Jack Van Impe Presents. Today, friends, we are going to be giving you some global headlines, and they certainly are shocking. But it's going to be a little different format in that we are going to repeat a program that you saw a few weeks ago, and we've had such a demand to see it again because it impressed so many millions of people around the world. We've decided to also comply with your request. And Jack, I think it's a great idea that we do it.
Oh, I'll tell you, we've had so many demands that we rerun it, and it has to do with compromise. Chamberlain of England said, we'll never fight Hitler. I saw his face, and he's a sincere man, and we will never go to war with him. That's what Obama says about Islam, and we're already fighting him overseas, as you know.
All right, we are going to be picking up here in just a moment and showing you that, once again, that program impressed so many people. So here it is. Take a look at what we're talking about. Very, very important for you. Friends, I just want to say that we've all heard the word naive. Naive is not being fully aware of things that are going on around us. Just absolutely a deficit when it comes to worldly wisdom. But let's take a look, if you will, at this first headline, and I tell you, naivete invites aggression. The history of arms control isn't good. It's an article by David Lewis Schaefer. Now, here's a good history lesson. Remember, I showed you a couple of pictures here I'm going to repeat because it shows somebody being very naive. The first one is Neville Chamberlain. Remember him? He was from Great Britain. He did something. He went to see Hitler in 1939 and very impressed. He came back from seeing Hitler and gave quite a good report, and someone stood up to him. And of course, that was Churchill. He said, "You are being naive." And you know, I think that we can go a little bit too far being impressed with people. And Jack, this is a wonderful illustration, isn't it?
It is, Rexella. Prime Minister Chamberlain went to see Hitler, and he came back and said to the English people, "Oh, this is a great man. He's marvelous. I looked into his face and I saw sincerity. I saw a man who would honor his word." Later he went back again and came home, and he had the crowds cheering at number 10 Downing Street as he said, "Last night Hitler and I signed a concordant promising that we would never fight against one another, and I believe that this is peace with honor. Thank God for Hitler." Well, Winston Churchill was upset, and he said the trouble with Chamberlain is he's looking through a drain pipe from the opposite end. And Churchill warned the world, and Churchill was right, and soon Luftwaffe was flying over England, dropping their bombs, killing thousands, and during that war 50 million people died because of Adolf Schicklgruber, Hitler. 50 million, and 6 million Jews lost their life. He was warning the people. And you know, we are headed for trouble. And I'm going to do some warning today. I'm going to obey this book. Ezekiel 3:17, "Son of man, hear the words at my mouth and give the public warning from me." Again, Ezekiel 33:3, "Blow the trumpet and warn my people." And Paul could say in Acts 20:31, "Therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I cease not to warn everyone night and day with tears." And that's the way I feel as I enter this message. Listen carefully.
We will be praying for you, absolutely. And absolutely, Chamberlain wanted to appease Hitler, didn't he? He wanted to make him feel good because he said his eyes looked so trustworthy. Well, let's see if appeasement is going on now. And we can take a look at this next headline, which is very, very significant, by Frank Beckman. Closing Guantanamo causes terror problems for America. All right. Obama drops enemy combatant term. That raises eyebrows, I think. And war by any other name, Obama's new terminology, has started a trend. A trend. People are starting to say different words for what they absolutely mean. It's a different trend, Jack. Doesn't sound so bad not to use terror.
Yeah. Overseas contingency operations. Isn't that a beautiful term for a war on terror by a bunch of cutthroats who are killing our boys right now overseas and killing people in all the nations and getting rid of many Christians? Let's go on, Rick Sullivan.
The Obama administration is seeking to assure Iran, this is very important, that the U.S. is not interested in toppling the Islamic regime. And I must say that the Jerusalem Post had a very interesting headline: U.S. drafts conciliatory letter to Iran. That means a sorry letter. Iran leader: Obama taking wrong path over cancerous Israel. They haven't changed their mind about Israel, according to that. Muslims heartened by Obama greeting.
It's a sign before God returns, folks.
Good excitement. Exiled Hamas leader welcomes Obama's new language on
off the map.
the Middle East.
We are
And Al-Qaeda truce with Obama. Once again, our President Obama's outreach to Muslims improves the U.S. image. But here is a question: will Islam return Obama's respect? Again, someone else he's really coming and cozying up to. Obama makes overtures to Russia and China. The most polarizing president ever. Now, this is from News Magazine, and polarizing means to break up into opposing factions. Let's go on. And U.S. is not and will never be at war with Islam, Obama says. From the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. offers to cut nuclear arms. That one really shocked me. Obama calls for a nuclear-free world and says the U.S. will lead. And let me just say this next article from USA Today: shocked me. Without missile defense, America left vulnerable. Vulnerable. Very, very important. I'm going to back up, and I know you have questions in your mind you'd like to ask Jack right now. That first one, that letter to Iran, a conciliatory letter, I'm sorry letter. How about that, Jack?
I need to warn America. I'll tell you why. Ahmadinejad has repeatedly said, I'm going to wipe Israel from off the face of the map, and he said, my Messiah, Mahdi, is coming soon, but he will not come until I do my job of exterminating the Jewish people. And then this one of justice and righteousness will come. Justice and righteousness, when he first of all has to kill all the Jews in order for his Mahdi to come, and you're going to be conciliatory with him and sit down and try to make peace. It won't work. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Amos 3, verse 3. But the letters are going out to all the rest, to Assad of Syria, and to the Taliban, and to Hezbollah, and Hamas, and Russia, and China. And we are going to face real problems in the near future because of this appeasement right now. You can't look into the faces of these men who've murdered many of our people. 9/11 here in America, where 3,000 were killed. We are at war with them. And we're going to say more in a moment.
Yeah, Jack, I wish that this could happen. Never have war with Islam. Our president said we will never have war with Islam. Is it possible, Jack? What do you think?
Drexella, 50 years ago, I preached a message entitled The Coming War with Russia According to the Bible. I haven't had to change one point. And you cannot make peace with Russia and China and all these others who are bent on war. Now, the Bible says in Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39 that God, Magog, Meshach, Tubal, and Rosh will fight the war of the latter years and the latter days, verses 8 and 16. And those are cities in Russia right now. But there's going to be a group that comes down from the Orient, Revelation 16:12, and chapter 9, verses 14 and 18, and they are the armies of the East, China. But wait, there's also an Islamic army that joins Russia and China, and
second part. Jack Van Impe next.